I'm Jacob Hamilton,
And I'm Hedro Joseph.
and welcome back to the Hardwood Huddle, a basketball podcast where we break down the latest news and games in the NBA and basketball world. Hedro, how you doing, man? It's been some time. It's been like what 3 weeks now.
Yeah, we're back in action.
Back in action.
We got summer vacations pulling up. So, Jacob, you were out for a while. I will actually be out end of August until mid-September. So just keep that in mind. But tell us a little bit about your trip, man.
No, the trip was crazy. It was sadly at the end. We didn't get to do the shark diving, which that's been something like I've always wanted to do since I was like a youngin'. We didn't get to do it. The weather the last 4 days of our trip was ridiculously terrible, so that got canceled. My dad and sister were happy about that. Me and my mom, we were upset about that. And then it was bad. The weather was terrible the last 4 days, but the beginning of the trip and going on the safari was next level. It was life changing almost, being like face to face with elephants and lions and shit like that. Like it was
South Africa, right?
South Africa, yep. Close. There's like all of like the game reserves is what they call them. Like they call them like game reserves, but no one can hunt in them. But they're all like so close to each other. They're all like legit. Like there's, let's say like here's the one we stayed in, and the other one's right across the street. They just have a fence just lined up. It's like who knows what can happen between there? Because if I came across a lion just walking down the street one day, no, I would just surrender at that point. Be like, yeah, it's my
Sound like
time.
some Jurassic Park stuff. I
Right?
just saw that movie,
Right?
so I'm
It's getting me ready for that new Jurassic Park movie that I think came out already. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Oh, welcome back to the States. You got
Right?
some catching up to do.
I gotta watch
That
the
came
new
out
movie.
that came out 4th of July weekend. I went to go see it. It was good.
Yeah, I just me and my girlfriend, we just got caught up on all of like the old ones, like the old like Jurassic World, not the old park ones, but the world ones, because just so we could get like a
Mm-hmm.
little just a remembrance of what happened. And now I'm invested again. I was playing the game on the Xbox. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. But yeah, the trip was crazy. It was unbelievable, and like I said, it was life changing. And if anyone has the opportunity to go, take that opportunity, even though it might seem scary at first. It's worth it when that lion's looking you right in the eye. It's something else. It's something else for sure. But just got back in time
Give
for
me an
summer league.
idea. Give me an idea of the size of a lion when you're looking at it.
So we didn't get to see like the big like maned lions. The only lions that we
Uh,
saw, because in the national park is what I'm just gonna call it. The park, it was like the lions of other parks like were beefing, and so like they were like pushing them out, and so they all were like going into hiding, and so we were following around like a pack of like six like juveniles and like two grown ones for like 2 days, and then they eventually kind of left and did their own thing, but they were probably like the size of like Dwight Howard, really. Like I saw my jersey, I was like, hey, that's like a perfect size for him. Because like massive animals, very scary at first, but crazy, next level.
I feel like animals in the wild feel different than the animals you see at the zoo. So
Oh, I'll
you,
I don't
it's like you have an idea, but then you see
zoos
the
are
ones
ruined
in the
for me
wild.
forever. I'll never be able to go back to a zoo and be like the same. Like I love going to the zoo, and my mom was like, "Yeah, you'll never be able to go back there. You'll feel too upset." And I was like, "Yeah, that's true, because I definitely will be upset, because they're not supposed to be trapped in the cage. They're supposed to be out, like living free, but that's what we do, put them in cages, right?" Um, but yeah, it was a crazy trip. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy for summer league. The Suns and the Wizards are on right now. Um, and I'm super excited about the Suns off season thus far. Compared to the last episode we came out, I was upset. Now I'm happy, but we'll have to get into that for another DBR. My whole mood has
As you can
changed,
see, we got y'all's potentially best player. So
right?
this offseason, Kevin Durant, but to the Rockets. But your Suns did re-sign Devin Booker, the franchise,
Yep.
recently to a 2-year extension, max extension. So shout out to Devin Booker for that one. And
Yeah.
he's got a lot of living up to do in terms of the expectations that come with those type of contracts. I would like to know if he got a no trade clause. I'm not sure about that yet.
Yeah, I don't know when.
And I guess not, because you have to be a free agent. I think you have to be a free agent, and then they add it to a new contract as opposed to on extensions. So probably not. Okay.
I mean, it's like Jackson Hayes. He got a no trade. He has a no trade clause now because he's been signing. Yeah, because he signed
that's a little different. I think it's something where like he's in the last year of his deal type of thing. So to maintain his bird rights, he has to he has the ability to say no to a trade proposal just for a year. It's not like a permanent trade.
No, it gives him a little bit more security than signing just 1 year contracts like he's been. I'm pretty sure that he signed like 3 1-year contracts in a row or 2 or whatever, however many you need to sign for you to have that 1 year, that no trade clause. But yeah, free agency has been wild.
Let me say one thing about Jackson Hayes before you continue. I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead.
But it's interesting that he re-signed with the Lakers despite the fact that they were so desperate for a big in the playoffs this past playoffs. Mm-hmm. And he was healthy and available, and they did not play him. So I have no idea why is it that he stayed anyway. Like, I'm not sure if that's a career decision or a lifestyle choice, because if they're desperate for bigs, like they're sitting there talking about, we don't have any bigs whatsoever, we're going to play small. And you're sitting there a healthy scratch. And then over the summer, all these trade rumors trying to bring in all these bigs, and you just resign knowing full well that they won't play you when it matters. This might be the last year. This might be the last year of your NBA career. Literally, like, because nobody will see value in you when the games actually matter.
Yeah.
And you're not getting any playing time when the games actually matter. So, interesting choice for Jackson Hayes. I would have thought he went for greener pastures.
Yeah.
And your contract somewhere else.
And I kind of thought that as well in a sense, right? Because obviously he signed with the Lakers before they eventually got DeAndre Ayton, which I feel like we might have to just touch on a little bit just in this show, because that's an interesting situation there. But I was slightly confused, but now when I'm really kind of thinking about the roster, if this goes on to our next topic, if LeBron stays, right? If LeBron is a Laker at the start of the season, I mean, I wouldn't be too upset if Jackson Hayes was like my 11th man, right? Like, and they try to like somehow get like another big, and if it doesn't work out, it's like, okay, we have Jackson Hayes. It's almost like what the Suns are doing, right? It's like we drafted Malawach, traded for Mark Williams draft night, and then it's looking like we're going to keep Nick Richards, and then we have our second year in the league, Oso Ighodaro, which he might be on the move. Who knows what's happening with him? But yeah, the Lakers are in an interesting spot right now, at least, especially in the last 2 days. So, but that kind of goes into
Hayes is 25 years old.
25.
Don't you want to do something further?
Right.
Then 1 year contracts. Like really 1 year contracts for a 25-year-old, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Was it a 1 year that he signed? Was that a 1 year? Oh no, I have like all of the contracts written right here. Where is he at?
Might have been a 1 year with a team option or something.
Yeah. 1 year, 2.8. 1 year, 2.8 for Jackson Hayes.
Yeah. So, he's signing 1 year contracts at 25 years old.
It's like, come on.
That's not a thing.
I mean, it is Jackson Hayes, right? Like, but excuse me.
I know who it is, but when you got a guy that's got, some experience and all that stuff, you get some long-term security.
Yeah. But speaking on the Lakers, it goes into what we just talked about, or not talked about, what we kind of learned about and have had murmurs of over the last week or two. Is LeBron James on the move, right? That's the question. So the stuff that came out today or yesterday, my days are all messed up. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but
I get it.
The Lakers reportedly let Luka Doncic know about the sale, before it went down. And obviously, if you're not into basketball and you haven't really paid attention, that's kind of a big deal, right? When you don't tell LeBron James, debatably the best basketball player ever, the best in my opinion, and a 41-year-old who's won a championship for you, and you don't inform him about the sale of the team. And you inform your new star, obviously, who's a top 5 player in the world when healthy, and Luka Doncic. You inform him. So I just kind of want to get your thoughts on what you kind of think maybe is going on in the Laker organization, especially with LeBron and all of this like new murmur that's going on.
I'm not sure when it comes to LeBron and the Lakers. A lot of times, ooh, that was a good dunk right there. A lot of times when you hear certain rumors, you can really just brush them off as, hey, that's just talk. They drafted his son last year
Yeah.
with their second round draft pick, and he got the photo op moment and stuff, and he's been developing at a pretty decent rate for his draft slot in Bronny James, and they've given him max contracts, all that stuff. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when you start hearing enough smoke, it seems to be more true than false. Yeah. So we just went through that experience I'm also a Heat fan, everybody. I'm a Rockets fan. I live in Houston, but I'm also a Miami Heat fan. But the Heat fandom just went through that with Jimmy Butler. Yeah. Didn't realize all the smoke that Shams was predicting would lead to Jimmy Butler's departure.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to end up the way it did, but it did. And Jimmy Butler is now a Golden State Warrior. So when you start hearing a lot of rumors, now a lot of people on Heat X, formerly known as Twitter, they're starting to talk about, hey, what would we need to do to try to get LeBron James to come back over here? You got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Thinking, hey, we might be able to send the Lakers one of our bigs, obviously Jarrett Allen, and the Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley.
Of course.
And some other fluff. Maybe Darius Garland has been rumored to be on the move too.
Well, hold on. You just fluff and mentioned Darius Garland. That's crazy.
No. Not him as fluff. Just Darius Garland,
Jared Allen, and fluff.
Fluff to make the money match.
Okay.
You need extra stuff in the deal to make the money match.
Yeah.
Yada yada. But and if they're over the second apron, then they can't aggregate players. So Cleveland would be out unless they have some sort of 3-team trade. Anyways, that's cap stuff. That's CBA stuff. But if a lot of these rumored destinations, like places he's been to before, are thinking about ways of bringing him on board, then there's more. There might be more fire than smoke,
right?
When it comes to the rumors. So it's interesting. A lot of Laker fans are still split, even though he's been as a Laker since 2018. They're still split on how they feel about LeBron James. He won them their latest title. Yep. Previously, the four or five previous years before he was there, they couldn't make the playoffs. That includes 3 years with Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
They got all their success with him. Their most recent success with him. They were just recently in the conference finals a couple of years ago. So interesting that a lot of Laker fans wanted him to take a pay cut in order to fit more players. I'm not sure where they were going with that, because if he's making $50 million. If he took a $25 million pay cut, it would have opened up $3 million of cap room. If he played for the minimum, it would have opened like $10 million of cap room. So they're not gonna get anybody for that number.
Yeah,
except Jackson Hayes, I guess.
Right.
So I'm not sure what they expect him to do. like I guess they wanted him to opt out, and they were hoping that he just don't come back. And I think that's so weird as a
Yeah.
fan base to be that way, knowing full well that just last year y'all were third in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
And had an opportunity, y'all ran into a team that had mostly big players
Exactly.
and played big against y'all, Rudy Gobert, Minnesota Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
And without running into them, y'all could have potentially had a run to the finals again.
Yeah.
So Luka Doncic just got there, so give him a training camp year and see what happens. But
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of the fan base is off put. The management's not communicating with James the same way they're communicating with Doncic.
Yeah.
And it's interesting what's going on. I think there's more fire than smoke.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, a lot more fire than there is smoke. And the thing is and I'm not gonna say, oh, the Lakers should have let LeBron know that about the sale. They should have let him know about everything else. They don't have to do that. Like they're not obligated to do that. And obviously LeBron is 41 or he's turning 41 in this upcoming turning 42. He's old, right?
He's
And we all know
he's turning 41 in December.
in
End of
December.
December.
And so, and obviously, and that's the tail end of his career, and we all know that, and especially with that voice snippet on that Instagram like post, like what was that, like 2 weeks ago, where it was like Savannah wants me to retire, all this and that, wants one more year. Like I was thinking about, like he said something about New York, which is why I made that post on the Hardwood Huddle Twitter account, which a lot of New York Knicks fans, I don't know if you saw the replies on it, but they were all like, hell no. No. Like every time I was like, hey, I mean, I get it. I'm not going to say I don't understand it, but
I don't get it. LeBron has won a championship every stop he's made.
right.
New York could use a championship. I don't know.
And New York is on paper right now, looking at the East, and this is a little off topic. The Knicks are more than likely the team to beat in the East, right? With everything they got going on, and obviously that would, to make money match, it would probably have to be a cat for LeBron swap, or Mikal and OG. That I think those contracts add up to match LeBron's. But yeah, no, I believe at this point, with everything that we've seen and all, like this went away for like a couple days, and then it kind of came back. And so what's odd about that is that it came back, right? Like I kind of forgot it. I forgot that it happened, and then now it came back. And like you said, there's probably more fire than there is smoke. And so I would not be surprised if LeBron James is not a Laker by come end of August. Like it would not surprise me. Like
He has a no trade clause. He has a no trade clause, so he has to approve anywhere he goes.
Yeah, which he has the right to. I mean, he's debatably the top 3 best basketball players. He's the GOAT of all time. So he deserves to have that no trade clause. But yeah, the Lakers are in an interesting spot with everything that they've done so far in this offseason. Their first call when free agency opened was Jake LaRavia, not a center. Jake LaRavia, I'm pretty sure, was the first guy that they signed to. I have his contract right here. Where are you at, Jake LaRavia?
Former Sacramento King.
Jake LaRavia. I don't have his exact contract. I can't find it. Too many names on this sheet right here. But and then you eventually go out and get DeAndre in off the waiver wire when he became available, a buyout from Portland, which I'm interested to see how Lakers fans feel about DeAndre in 5 games into the season, or maybe DeAndre Ayton gets a new fire under his ass with playing with Luka. So I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with this whole LeBron situation. I think it's going to be fun. It's always fun to hear LeBron rumors because he's debatably the best player ever. So it's always interesting to hear stuff like that.
2 years, $12 million for Jake LaRavia.
Is that what it is? I haven't filled the rest of it out, but all of these were like the big name free agents. I have them all written down. I was bored in some parts of Africa. We had 4 days where it was rainy, so I was like, I'm gonna just put down all of that. You know, the grind for the Hardwood Huddle.
I saw you slightly active on that on that social media.
Yeah,
I saw you working it. That was good.
But
we got some followers too out of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
A couple of them are Suns fans from my boy Tarek. He hooked us up. He's like, I'm gonna send y'all to my Suns group chat. And I was like, I appreciate that.
By the way, we are at Hardwood Huddle.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter at Hardwood Huddle. I've just thrown it up on the screen. Yeah, any closing thoughts on LeBron maybe leaving the Lakers, staying in LA?
This is gonna be his 23rd season. That's gonna be the most anybody has ever played in the league.
Yeah.
23 seasons. No one's ever done that. I think the person that I remember played the longest was I believe Robert Parrish.
Yeah, Robert Parrish. Vince Carter played pretty long.
He played from like the 80s to like he won a championship with the Bulls in '96.
Really?
Yeah, Robert Parrish is a Boston Celtic Hall of Famer, but he's won some. He's got some chips on him. Yeah, but 23 seasons. It's one of those. Have you heard that? Have you heard that Batman? That Batman quote where you die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
That's
like there's a lot of people who can concur that LeBron's the greatest of all time, but in the same breath they're like, but I don't want him on my team. Current LeBron on my team. And I find that very fascinating, considering it's not like having a guy who was all NBA second team just last season is a detriment.
Yeah,
like the worst it's gonna do is give you a shot, and isn't that what you want?
Yeah,
especially if you're an Eastern Conference team with all of those Achilles tendons that popped.
Yeah,
like make it make sense, New York. Make it make sense.
Yeah, and I think it and obviously he just signed that new contract extension, right? And what was it, like a 50, 52, 51? Talking about LeBron? That's a hard contract to match, right? And you have to give up
LeBron
personnel.
LeBron, that was a player option. He just took his player option, so he only got 1 year on his contract.
Yeah,
he'll be a free agent
1 year
next season.
And it's obviously going to be a hard, like what we said. It's going to take a Jared Allen and Darius Garland and stuff like that to get LeBron, and it's a haul, right? But it almost seems like I think a lot of owners would be very inclined to do that because it brings a lot of attention to your team. It is LeBron James at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. I mean, obviously we'll keep talking about it if anything more comes up.
Am I tripping, or is Darius Garland still with the Cavs, right? There's been a lot of player movement. So
yeah, he's still with he's still on the Cavs.
So forgive me for that. Okay, cool. I just pulled him up, and then I just saw an article that said something along the lines of he was traded to the Clippers. I was like, I don't remember that.
But okay. Yeah, I don't think that happened. Maybe it did. Maybe I'm that.
Nah, I'm not
forgetting that. But
I'm just making sure because a lot of player movement happens, especially in the beginning stages of free agency. Lots of trades, so everybody's getting new jerseys. I got to replace the Jalen Green jersey with a Kevin Durant jersey. That type of stuff.
Yeah, well, speaking on another number 1 overall pick, the Cooper Flagg, he had his summer league debut. I have his stats pulled up right here. 10.6 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. He had a plus minus of -1. He shot 5 for 21 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3, 0 for 1 from the free throw line, and with 1 turnover. Obviously, you caught the game and I caught the game as well. We were texting about it a little bit last night. Cooper Flagg, obviously, he couldn't get a shot to fall down. And if you were watching the broadcast, Tim Legler, that's why he's always so good to have on the broadcast, is because he was an elite shooter. So he could tell what was going on, and he said it wasn't rolling off like his fingertips, right? He said it was rolling off like the side of his hand. But everywhere else other than shooting, Cooper Flagg was what I feel like kind of everybody else thought he was going to be. that one turnover, if you want to overreact to that, was a travel that he seemed very confused that it was a travel. I don't even remember how obvious it was. But yeah, I mean, anywhere other than shooting the ball, Cooper Flagg played pretty good last night. Before you go on to Cooper Flagg, I want to give a shout out to Ryan Nemhard because he went crazy last night. I want to have his stats pulled up. Andrew Nemhard's brother, 21 points, 2 boards, and 5 assists, 8 for 14 from the field, 66.6% true shooting. So yeah, shout out to Ryan Nemhard. But back to Cooper Flagg. Thoughts on Cooper Flagg's opening summer league debut?
Unconcerned about the offensive output. It's summer league, so they're doing a lot of different things than what you would expect them to do in the regular season. So him getting his feet wet with live ball competition for the first time in months is it's kind of what you expect when it comes to the offensive end. The defense never really leaves you. So, and summer league teams tend to focus on defense a lot. So that showed up, obviously, him being the number 1 pick and one of my personal favorites already in the league.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even played a regular season game. But his defense carries, and he showed it with how active he was protecting the paint and just the defensive acumen. You can tell he'll be the type of player who he has Anthony Davis on his team. That's like a perfect fit when it comes to a mentor to quarterback the defense. He'll learn immediately how to cover the back end, because those defensive quarterbacks are what the centers are normally doing in today's NBA. So the good centers are able to direct everybody on how to approach the defensive scheme that the coach is trying to implement, and they're doing all of the communicating. So him having Anthony Davis there on the back end for defensive purposes, Jason Kidd's going to have a head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Kidd is going to have a field day with having that kind of player. And then the shooting will come. He's a really good shooter. He shot very good from 3
I think
in college.
41, maybe 42% from 3 last year in college.
Yeah,
and everyone had a lot of concerns about it, and he shut all those concerns up.
Pretty strong. You can see the athleticism, even in the summer league game where he only scored 10 points, and just a lot to like from who was clearly the number 1 pick in the draft. So I found it to be pretty pleasing. He was a little listless in the second half, but a lot of that is due to everybody is trying to get off and show something, because there in some cases other players are trying to make the team or showcase themselves for another team that's watching.
Yeah.
So
he also played 32 minutes. Which is crazy for a number 1 overall pick in their summer league debut, when summer league games are only 40 minutes long. They're only 10-minute quarters. So, I mean, they gave him a lot of playing time. That's why his shot efficiency didn't look as good as well.
I'm sure it was for conditioning and
absolutely,
and being able to do different things. Like, he was bringing up the ball quite a bit.
He was,
especially in the first half. So, a lot to be gained from there. Did you you noticed Bronny James tried to take the game-winning shot there?
I did.
The Lakers were down 2 with less than a minute to go.
Yeah,
and
so missed it. Step back. I mean, this is what I'll just read off the text that I had sent to you, because I was truly amazed at that shot attempt from Bronny. And obviously, I don't think that was a Bronny just like, oh, I'm gonna do this like myself. Like, that was that whole thing was designed for Bronny. But what I said was, what did I say? Where was it? Bronny should have drove to the rim at the end there. He had a time to hit. Who was that? Darius Baisley, right? A guy who I feel like has been in the NBA for years and is still playing in summer league. Sometimes that just happens. But Bronny just, I don't know what the hell that was at the end there. I mean, I'll have his stats right here.
And Cole Swider was out there too, I think, right? He could.
Yeah, he was. I think he was just standing in the corner. Cole Swider, 22 points, 10 boards as well.
Pass him the ball.
In the field, 6 for 9 from 3. He only made threes, and with 4 free throws.
He was in the Heat system. I'm familiar with him.
But Bronny had 8 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, 2 for 8 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the free throw line with 1 turnover. Just thoughts on Bronny's summer league game. I don't think he played terrible. Obviously, Bronny's having trouble knocking down shots. I think everyone knows that. And he admitted that himself, I believe. And he said he was like, that's going to take time. He's like, I have to be more of like a defensive presence out there. I mean, Cooper Flagg tried to back him down and he wasn't moving. It was like that. It was like the photo of Boogie and who was it? Boogie and Cat. And Boogie was just standing there and Cat had like just wincing in his face because he couldn't move him. And that was kind of what I saw, like a 1-in-1 shot of them both. But yeah, I mean, Bronny's playmaking ability, I think, is so underrated. And if people watched basketball and really like took a look at it, would realize that and kind of give him a little bit more credit than they do. But enough talk about Bronny. But
with that being said, he's gonna have to develop at a lot faster rate as a second round pick.
Yeah,
those type of guys don't get to keep their spot on the roster for very long if you're not showing them something. He has to be playable this season.
He does. That's the thing. Because what he said, like the thing that came out was like he's gonna get like 10 to 15 every night. Like, who knows if he's good in the first 10 games of the season, but that 10 to 15 minutes every night for him could be a lot of learning for him as well. Because he's good on defense. I mean, I'll give it to him. I mean, he's like a brick wall. I mean, like obviously.
Just last season, the Lakers were in a 3-way tie for third place in the Western Conference. They can't afford to give up games to develop a second round pick. They don't have that kind of time. So if he's not showing something and showing something pretty early, he'll sit, get cut, or get traded because JJ Redick is not putting his career on the line for no Bronny James.
No.
And similarly, the LeBron is not going to have a poor ending to his career on account of his son trying to develop on his watch. So
yeah,
it's one of those situations where expect that the leash will be short.
Yeah, 100%. And that's not because he's Bronny. That's just because he's a second round pick and was drafted 58, 57, 56, like low 50s or high 50s. So I mean,
I think
like low. But yeah, back to Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg matches up with the Spurs tomorrow.
Is Dylan Harper playing?
Is Dylan Harper playing? Is that what you said?
We don't know. I guess we won't know until it pops up.
I don't see why he wouldn't. That's the thing.
I wouldn't worry too much about looking up if he's gonna play because you probably won't know until it tips off.
Yeah, it's summer league anyway. But yeah, I'm not, just to kind of wrap things up about Cooper Flagg. I'm not too worried about Cooper Flagg. I mean, I think we both agreed on that. I mean, he was the youngest player in the draft. He hasn't played basketball in some time. And his shot wasn't falling. Everything else was. So it wasn't like it was just a terrible defensive lack of performance everywhere. So, but yeah, shout out to Cooper Flagg.
Dylan Harper has a groin strain. So.
Oh, he does.
He may or may not. He may or may not play. I knew he missed the first one.
Carter Bryant versus Cooper Flagg matchup. That's good. Carter Bryant's been everywhere on the floor for the Spurs during summer league. His shot's not falling, but everywhere else he's a defensive menace. So I'm definitely going to be watching that game. 1 p.m. Pacific time for those on the West Coast. But
for people watching summer league, I wouldn't stress about. If you're the type of person who enjoys offensive juggernaut performances type stuff, summer league may not be for you because a lot of these guys are doing a lot of learning on the fly. The coaches input the defense mostly, and then they worry about the offense later type thing.
Yeah.
And I think that you won't be seeing too many like offensive explosions when it comes to the summer league. Like if somebody scores 30 points in the summer league, that's kind
That's
of an
pretty rare.
anomaly.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, I
Even
don't
if,
think
if somebody's doing well, they literally pull that guy so they can look at other guys because
yeah.
they see what they've seen enough.
Yeah. They're like, okay, we know he can make shots. Summer league is just all about getting their own, and I feel like everyone just has to recognize that. I even said that to my mom yesterday. I was like, sometimes it's just hard to watch summer league because it's just a lot of it's like going to the park and playing basketball, but like they're really playing hard defense every time, and they're trying to get that done. But a dead ball review. Who do we have for the dead ball review?
All right, we have the Denver Nuggets.
Here we go.
So just to remind everybody, dead ball reviews are basically just season wrap ups, and I try to do that with every team. We've been slow rolling these dead ball reviews,
Yeah.
trickling a few every now and again. So this is probably like our eighth or ninth one, and there's
Mhm.
30 teams. So obviously we'll crank it up a bit to get a bunch of teams out there, but we got updates because a lot of people have gone through most of what they're changing for in preparation for the following season. So it's
Yeah.
good to have everything that teams got going on after the summer, and we'll see where they lie. So
Yeah.
all the off-season decisions that they made. But we're gonna do a review of the Denver Nuggets, and the Denver Nuggets just quickly last year they finished with a 50-32 record, which was fourth in the Eastern Conference, and they lost in 7 games in the semifinals to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who went on to win the championship. Season breakdown includes they had a healthy season for the most part. Nikola Jokic only missed a handful of games, and they finished in a three-way tie for third place. But with tiebreakers, they fell down to fourth, so they had that dreaded 4-5 matchup,
Yeah.
and then followed by the number one team in the conference. And if you get past that 4-5 matchup, they nearly defeated that 68 win juggernaut, who also resides in their division, with a new coach and head coach David Alderman, who showed a lot of coaching promise, and they rewarded him with a uh, removing the interim tag and having him be a full time coach for them.
Well
Season
deserved.
highlights. Oh yeah, for sure. Son of Hall of Fame head coach Rick Adelman used to coach Sacramento Kings amongst other teams, Portland, and went to the final. I believe he was their coach when they went to the finals a couple of times in the early '90s, Portland. But
I believe so,
season,
if I'm remembering correctly
mhm.
from my research.
Season highlights for the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic became the third player ever to average a triple double, 29 and a half points per game, 10.2 assists, 12.7 rebounds. He was like point one assist away from averaging a triple double in the year that he lost to Joel Embiid. So there's that.
Yeah.
But he had the NBA's first ever 30-20-20 game, 30 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists this
Ridiculous.
past year. That's crazy. Tied for third in the West is a great result considering the franchise found the regular season to be disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
So they got 3 straight 50-win seasons. Um, Good for them. And they had an MVP candidate who I felt should have won MVP, but he did not. And Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, their uh, their veteran guard, had a career high 55 points in a February game. So
Is that
shout
his
out to
career
Jamal
high?
Murray. Yeah. Does
I
that seem
thought he had
weird?
like 60 in the bubble. Or was that like when him and Donovan Mitchell both had 50?
When they went off, they both had 50, I believe.
Was that 50? Or I thought they both had 60, but I mean,
I
both crazy
mean,
high numbers.
regular season versus playoffs, I guess they'll do different career highs for those too.
Yeah.
So But I'm pretty sure it was like 50 or 52 or something like that. Lowlights for the Nuggets. They had to fire their coach and their general manager with 3 games left in the regular season.
Crazy.
Much unheard of, unless of course you're the Grizzlies who fired their coach with like 12 games left in the season. Craziness at the end of the season, but they put the interim tag on their assistant coach, David Adelman, to try to stem the turmoil that was obviously happening behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Let me see. The lack of depth revealed itself a lot when it came to the Nuggets roster, because it felt like Jokic was playing a lot of heavy minutes in competitive games for long durations of the season, because they lost players like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to the Orlando Magic in the offseason. So a lot of minutes were dedicated to guys like Russell Westbrook, who came in for a year and actually played well for them because he had good chemistry with Jokic.
Yeah.
But really hard to run your guy to the ground a little bit, because if something were to happen to him, like, it's a wrap for the season, and you really want to kind of protect your high value assets. Not having that tiebreaker against the Lakers meant they had to do a 7-game series in the first round against the Clippers, which was rough. A lot of people had the Clippers winning that, and they found a way to overcome that. And then they ended up in a 7-game series against the Thunder, and those games are every other day. So hardly any breaks. You get on a plane and head to the visitors arena after some wins or losses, and that gets really difficult because very little time to practice, very little time to recuperate, and some of those games were going into overtime. A lot of exciting endings. I remember an Aaron Gordon ending that was pretty good. But off-season outlook. All of their starters, except for, I'm going to talk about a trade that they did a little later. But all of their starters are locked in through 2026, so they're safe there. Notable free agent, really, to me, was just Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook's still trying to decide what he wants to do. I don't think they extended an invitation for him to return yet, so there's that. Cap situation, they're 11th in the NBA in salaries, so to me that means they're probably just over the first apron.
I think
they'll have a little trouble filling out the roster, other than like mid-level exceptions. Go ahead.
They're right on the luxury tax line as of current.
Okay, cool. In the draft room, they sat there. They did not make a draft pick. They did not have any draft picks.
Nope.
Their 2025 first round pick, I believe they traded that to Orlando in the Aaron Gordon deal years ago. And their second round pick, who knows? Second round picks are peanut butter and jelly to NBA teams. But they had no.
He was the Taco Bell commercial.
We can't use. We're gonna use Jokic as the example every single time for second round picks, or we're gonna say he's an exception, not the rule.
Yeah,
you let me know. But the trade signings, Michael Porter Jr. was traded. That was a guy who I believe they drafted in the lottery years ago, and he was part of this movement of, they won a championship in 2023 and have all these successful runs the last few years. Young player on their team. They actually traded him and threw in an unprotected 2032 first round pick to Brooklyn for Cameron Johnson. Cameron Johnson, I believe, is a forward, average like 39% from three. So he can still spread the floor for them and give them a lot more defensively, in my opinion.
Yes.
They re-signed Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown was out a couple years after he won the championship with them, and then went on elsewhere. I forget where he went. I think he went
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Went to Indiana and then maybe Toronto or something like that. But now he's back, signed a 1 year deal. Tim Hardaway Jr. They signed to a 1 year deal. And they traded Dario Saric to the Kings for Jonas Valanciunas. That will be their backup center. That they're hoping that he definitely comes back and plays because
Right.
there were rumors that he was gonna, retire from the NBA, and and because he got a lucrative contract offer overseas. But I think Nuggets are gonna try to hold him to that deal, which is only a 1 year deal. There's a team option that I don't think they've optioned, and I think Valanciunas is a little upset about that, so he was hoping to get a lucrative offer elsewhere. Let's do a player exit quote. Nikola Jokic, after that 7-game series, lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, he quotes, "The next couple of days is going to be a lot of beer, probably," unquote. So, question for you, Jacob. What went wrong for the Denver Nuggets this past season,
Um, I think
in your opinion?
everything really kind of went wrong and when Mike Malone was Coach Malone was fired. I mean, we talked about it. I think we had a show that same day, or we recorded it that same day, or whatever. And it was truly unbelievable because that's a guy who you won the championship with, right? Um, and stuck around for a while to get him that championship because you believed in him. And then you kind of just fire him when a lot of this stuff is kind of out of his control, right? I mean, he was what you said, a 50 win season this year, with fourth place, tied for third, just because of a tiebreaker. Like, that has nothing to do with him. That has everything to do with like Calvin Booth, the GM that eventually was fired then, and then the owners, right? And obviously the owners were done with him and Calvin Booth and ended up firing him, and which kind of caught everybody off guard. I mean, it did for me at least. Because I mean, like I said, it's a guy you just won the championship with, and you didn't give him the roster. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., like this guy goes into the trade, right? Like there was a lot of stuff going on with him and him being kind of like selfish as a player and him not being well-rounded. And that's why they traded for a guy like Cam Johnson, who's more well-rounded than him. But yeah, I think kind of everything. I think everything went wrong. I mean,
Everything.
what do you think went wrong for the Denver Nuggets this season?
Without looking at what the record was, um, at home, my best guess is, that home court advantage where they're mile high and all that stuff. Didn't feel like they had a home court advantage like they did, especially back in 2023 when they won the championship. Um, I think that they they were a little short-handed at times, and I think that might have played a role in them not having the same kind of home court dominance that I remember. A lot of people were the same way. Like Denver had a 26-15 record at home last year, which is really good, but it's not the same as when they were dominating teams every time they came up into Denver. Same thing with Boston. Similarly, like they couldn't lose at home, but now Boston last year is 28-13 at home, and it's like that's great, but that's not the same dominance that I was seeing, and it kind of shows up when you end up in a 3-way tie for third place in your conference. You would hope you'd win a few more home games, but I think they lost a little bit of their dominance. Everybody still fears Jokic, so that's not a concern. But
as they should.
I think as they should. But also, they're playing with fire because if he gets hurt, it's going to be a serious problem.
Yeah.
So that's where I am with that. Another question for you. Nikola Jokic saw all the offseason moves that the Denver Nuggets made and I just described. And he's eligible for an extension to his current Supermax contract that runs through the 2027-2028 season.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "No, I'm not interested in an extension. We're gonna see how the season play out, and maybe I'll come back to the table next summer."
Yeah.
And that's it. Don't talk to me anymore. I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
So that's putting words in his mouth. But basically, should the Nuggets be worried?
You know, when I initially saw this report that he didn't end up signing the new contract extension, I was very confused about it. And then when I kind of put thought into it, because we're talking about Nikola Jokic, right? Like a guy who is from Serbia, I believe, and if that's Serbia. A guy who rides horses, likes to drink beer, and obviously a lot of people say he's out of shape. But I mean, is he out of shape if he's winning MVPs? Like, I mean, he's debatably the best player in the league right now. But I'm not too worried about it. I just think he more like what you kind of said. Maybe he just doesn't want to be bothered with it right now because this obviously I have the sheet in front of me. This kind of goes into like the next question a little bit, but I'll kind of like steer away from that. With the offseason like that they had, I mean, you think that he kind of would want to sign another contract extension. So I think it's more or less just give him time. I don't see him playing realistically anywhere else other than Denver. He fits like just like the Denver mold almost. Like he's kind of built that mold himself. And so I wouldn't be too worried if I was Nuggets fans. I wouldn't, unless he just goes out and just retires and that's it and he's done. That would be very upsetting, but not surprising.
I like where you went there. That is a fear that Denver Nuggets fans should keep near and dear to their hearts. The fact that to some extent it doesn't feel like basketball is his number one priority, especially like in the off season. It is, of course, during the season, and he's so good, but it's one of those issues where he might decide he might wake up one day and it's like, you know what, I've made enough money because these contracts, there's plenty of money in the contracts. There's
he doesn't need any
for a
more
guy
money.
like him. Yeah, he was a second round pick. He was probably hoping to get out of it 20 to 25 mil and be done. Yeah. But he's gonna feed his family for generations with the money he's made already. So you always run into that danger of, hey, he gets a couple of really good horses and that's what he wants to focus on, and that's how he moves on. A lot of people say Michael Jordan got bored because he was so good and left, but and guys just get up and retire. That's always the danger. But for me, I would say it's potentially a money ploy. I'm just speculating, but I think the new TV contract starts next season, of course. So you should see a potential huge jump in the cap next summer. So if he signs, then the number is going to be astronomical, and that might be when he decides he's going to do the deal. But it's very interesting that you have a triple-double type season. I guess he just feels he can do it again. And then instead of signing that Supermax extension, you decide, hey, I'm just going to let it roll with, I don't need a raise or anything. I'm good.
Yeah, he's like, I'm chilling. He's like, I'm riding my horses in Serbia right now. He's like, I don't really give a shit what's going on. He's like, I'm happy here.
Last question. What would you do if you were running the Nuggets?
I would do everything. I'd do everything that they're doing right now. I'm loving their off season. Like you said, sign Bruce Brown to a 1-year deal on a veteran minimum, I believe, or on the mid-level exception. Signing Tim Hardaway Jr., a guy who can shoot, right? I mean, to a 1-year deal, and then obviously traded Saric for J-Val. And obviously they're trying to figure all that stuff out. And I think Russ has a real big opportunity to come back. I don't think they would be like, no, we really don't want you. I don't think that. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I heard that they weren't liking Russ. The ownership wasn't. But like Russ, like really didn't have that terrible of a season. I mean, it's just a Russell Westbrook season. And then trading Michael Porter Jr., a guy who's on a more expensive contract than Cam Johnson. and like I said earlier, a guy who is a lot more well-rounded as a basketball player, in Cam Johnson. So yeah, I mean, I would do exactly what they're doing right now. I'm enjoying their offseason. I mean, just they're not spending a lot of money that they don't have, but they're getting good guys. So if I was Jokic, I'd be like, okay, I'm not too upset about what's happening right now. But what would you do if you were running the Denver Nuggets?
I think the course they've charted has been exceptional. With that being said, I would be a little concerned about Aaron, like the Aaron Gordon, Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray. Like like those guys are good and they've won a championship with them, but it comes a point where it starts to become tread on the tire. Mm-hmm. And last I checked, Christian Brown 2 or 3 years ago, it was their latest like main draft pick, you know? Yeah. So you're not getting enough going through the pipeline. The Oklahoma City Thunder, for instance, won a championship and they got a lottery pick that didn't get to play last season. He's going to play for them now, and he's a point guard, so a big point guard. So he's as well. Yeah, Nikola Topic. He's SGA insurance. Yeah. They had the 15th pick that they had from the Miami Heat, and drafted a player there. So they're having more young players in the pipeline, despite the fact that all their players are young. And that is a template that you're going to want to follow as these contracts become so enormous that even billionaire owners won't be able to hang when it comes to the contract demands of said players. So if I were them, I would be looking to potentially offload certain players for draft picks and or young players. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of maintain what you're doing with Jokic, because the 1-year deals aren't going to get it done. They are band-aids. Yeah. For a single season, one injury to those guys, and it's like they're replaceable, essentially. Yeah. So one of those, Bruce Brown has an injury, the insurance will pay 80%, and you trade him or cut him. Yeah. As valuable as a piece he may be right now in July, he could be fodder by November.
Yeah, right. So I mean, who knows?
You want to, and then you got guys like Aaron Gordon. You're not really putting anybody behind him. Jamal Murray, who has an injury history, and you're not really putting anybody behind him. You had Russell Westbrook, but Russell Westbrook might even leave. So you consider, reading the tea leaves, seeing what you might want to do for Jamal Murray, even. Yeah. And different stuff like that. I think Aaron Gordon I like Aaron Gordon on that team. I think it's a great
absolutely.
fit. And that archetype is hard to mimic in today's NBA. A big forward that's both athletic can move his feet defensively and can shoot. Yeah. Finding that in a forward is very difficult in today's NBA. And those guys are going to get paid a lot of money. So having Aaron Gordon is good, but Jamal Murray, a guy who's never been an all-star, it might be something you need to look into to potentially get younger or get more depth.
Yeah. I mean, what if it's, I mean, let me pull up. I have an idea here. Maybe, I don't know.
Nuggets community, from what I gather, love Murray. So
yeah, I mean, I get
looking from the outside in.
I mean, what if you do like a 1-for-1 Darius Garland, Jamal Murray swap? Darius Garland's cheaper. That lowers you down from that luxury tax line that you're on. It brings you down like $3 million, but like it gets you below that. I mean, that's a conversation I'm having. If like throw all the LeBron back to Cleveland out the window. I mean, that if I'm whoever their new GM is, I can't remember. That's definitely a phone call I'm making. And that has nothing to do with Jamal Murray. It's just injury history. And so does Darius Garland. But I mean, Darius Garland was playing really good basketball until he got hurt. But like, he was having that prove it year that everyone like knew he had to have. And so, I mean, and is that better than Jamal Murray at what Jamal Murray is right now? I don't know. That I think there just needs to be conversations with Jamal Murray, but that's just my opinion. That's just me.
They have a interim, I believe. Ben Tenzer,
Okay.
interim GM. That's why I don't know who the GM is, but that's cool. Okay.
What if you just throwing this out here? What if it's like obviously Jamal Murray is a point guard, right? But he's kind of slotted in at that traditional, like he's more of a 2 guard, right? Jokic is a point guard. He's a point guard in a center body. So, but what if like you make a call to the Celtics maybe, and you're like, hey, like, is Jaylen Brown on the market? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, you guys don't really have like this season have too much to look for. Like Jaylen Brown's on a huge contract. He signed the biggest contract. What was that last offseason? That's more money than Jamal Murray, but that's a better player than Jamal Murray, in my opinion, at least. That's an all-star. So I think that's a call you can even make as well.
I think they could look into what Drew Holiday will go for.
Yeah.
He's looking to get out of Portland.
I mean, Drew Holiday went for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. Or no, the 2 second-round picks aren't even in there anymore. It was just a 1-for-1 swap, I believe, for that, because the Trailblazers didn't like what they were seeing in injury, I think, or who knows, in his foot. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what the Denver Nuggets do for the rest of this offseason. But so far, I'm liking it. On paper, if we're living in a world of no injuries. But yeah. You said you have a Phoenix Suns question. I have no idea what this question is. I'm kind of scared, but I guess we'll see.
It's nothing crazy. I forgot about that. Let's see what I have for that question. It is okay. So there's guys on First Take, that show, where they're saying about your Phoenix Suns franchise that I don't think that I would want to be less, or I don't think there's a franchise I would want to be less for the next few years than this Phoenix Suns team. So basically he's saying, like, if I had to root for a team to do well over the next few years, the Suns would be the last team I would root for. He's not looking forward to their future. David somebody said that on First Take. And somebody responded on X, and he said a list. He put out a list of franchises that are in a worse position over the next few years than the Phoenix Suns, and he said the Jazz, the Hornets, the Wizards, the Nets, the Pelicans, the Bulls, the Kings, the Raptors, my Miami Heat, and the Blazers. A couple of aging teams whose windows had closed could also make this list. So he's probably looking at teams like the Warriors if they start falling apart, and other aging teams. So I was just wondering what your take is on that. First, the first take that nobody wants the Phoenix Suns future over the next few years. You agree or disagree?
I think if okay, so I'm gonna try to like play this out from 2 different perspectives here, right? So before I left for Africa, right, the NBA draft hadn't started yet. If someone were to say the Suns are looking terrible future wise, I'd be like, absolutely, this last team I'd want, because I didn't know how they were going to draft, and I didn't expect them to draft well. So if I'm looking at it from 3 weeks ago, a month ago, from that angle, yeah, I'm like, I don't think it's the worst spot you could be in, right? But like, you made the trade, you got the picks, like who knew what was going to happen? Right now, if I'm looking at it from this angle, I think that we are in a lower like tier of that. We're in a low tier of a team that like you shouldn't be super excited for future wise, because it all just matters to what our owner what Jordan Ott is as a coach, how Kaman Malawach is shooting free throws right now, like how he pans out. I mean, Kobe Brea, if I looked in the first half, he was 4 for 4 from the 3, right? We had a good draft. And buying out Bradley Beal looks imminent, right? Like that, and he's gonna reportedly give up 13 million of that, so it makes that contract a lot smaller. I think we're not in a better spot than like the Jazz. I don't know what the Jazz are doing right now, but I don't know. I don't think we're in like a terrible spot. I think we're in a better spot than we were when Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal were on our team initially.
Which is crazy when you say that out loud. Because
I mean, but
said
like
that
then
3 years
because
ago,
I'm looking at it like cap wise, and like I mean, you read the CBA, like you know what being over that second apron does to a team. It puts you in purgatory. You can't send cash in trades. You can't trade multiple players to different teams. Like you have to do it to you have to be like a multiple team trade. Like I'm happy we're out of that second apron now. And that's no hate to Kevin Durant. That's no hate to Bradley Beal, even though I'm not really happy with Bradley Beal. But I just think that we're just in a better spot right now because of money wise and the what we can do and with all that. Am I happy that Devin Booker got $75 million a year? Probably not. But money goes up every year. Salary cap gets higher and higher. Players are getting paid more and more. So every team that's good is gonna have a $75 million player on their team. Like that's just what it's gonna be. And so Devin Booker's that guy that the Suns want it to be, then that's the guy that's who it's gonna be. So I don't think we're in the last spot, but I think we're probably like middle of the pack, kind of. Like if this season turns out well and better, I think not this upcoming season, but the following season is going to be better than this season. Like I think if you just give us time to grow, right? Like we have rookies, like it takes time for them to get better. Jalen Green, who knows if Jalen Green turns it around, right? Like you just don't know. And whoever that guy was is ridiculous. Like he obviously doesn't watch basketball.
When you say turn it around, Jalen Green was the leading scorer of the number 2 team in the Western Conference.
Yeah, and I'm talking turn it around.
He had a great season
of shot quality and like efficiency and all of that. And who knows, right? Like in Ime's system, I believe he was shooting a lot of threes, right? If I'm remembering correctly, I'd have to like go back and look at stats and all this and that. But I mean, we got Dylan Brooks, like we have Ryan Dunn, a guy who I think grew 2 inches this offseason. Like he was 6'6" at the beginning of last season. Now he's 6'8". Like he's growing. Like who knows what happens there? Devin Booker's still a good player. Devin Booker's 27 years old. He's young. Like it's not like we're in a better spot than we were 6 months ago. That's just the way I'm looking at it. Better spot than we were 6 months
ago. So Ryan Dunn is taller than Ace Bailey. Got it. So I'm gonna just shoot off those teams that the rebuttal to David Dennis, journalist. He's the one that said that he wouldn't take Phoenix Suns future. David Dennis Jr. I'm gonna shoot off the list that the guy replied to, and then you tell me if you would take Phoenix Suns future over the next 2 years or that team's future. How many years? Over the next 2 years.
2 years. 2 years. Okay, 2 years.
Suns or Jazz?
Suns.
Suns or Hornets?
Suns. Like if we're talking about the way the Hornets have been drafting, like absolutely, I'm taking the Suns because we're gonna be like a fringe playoff team. Like the Hornets are gonna be drafting in like the top 5 for the next 5 years and not draft anyone good.
You'll have a cap hold on somebody who's not playing for your team for 2 years. So just keep that in mind. That's true.
Salary cap goes up.
Yeah, that's 40-some million or whatever, 50 million.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is like I want Bradley Beal on my basketball team, but not for as much as he is. Like if he was here 13 million, I'd be like, thank you, Bradley Beal, thank you. But like, no, he's not. So bye-bye, Bradley Beal.
50 million or nothing. Just keep that in mind. The Suns or the Wizards?
Wizards.
The Wizards. Interesting. We'll hold your thoughts on that for DBR. Suns or Nets?
Suns.
And mind you, the Nets had 5 first-round picks, and they took a player with each pick. And they had like a second-round pick. They like traded that. They were like, "Oh Lord, we can't have like
Yeah,
6
I mean
newbies."
that's had a terrible draft. Like let's be honest here. I mean we didn't get to talk about the draft, but I mean not the best draft. So yeah, I'm definitely taking the Suns over the Nets over the next 2 years.
Interesting. Suns or Pelicans?
That's like I don't like is Zion in New Orleans still? Like is that what they're
Yes.
doing?
They're building a
Then
little bit around him. Their draft pick that they traded up to
Pelicans,
get their draft pick that they traded up to get. I think his name is Derek something.
Derek Queen.
Yeah. I watched him. I saw his stats in the last summer league game. He looked good.
Yeah, athletic, big. He can move.
They better hope that was a home run, but he did look good. And I was just looking up Bradley Beal's contract. $53 million this coming season, $57 million the following season.
So it'll be like 22 or 23 million like over the next 4. It's
if they stretch it too.
Yeah, because apparently he's gonna give us like 13. Reportedly, he's gonna give us like $13.9 million back. Like in
that's a negotiation because I looked into buyouts for players over the last like 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
And historically, they don't give back anything for the most part.
No, they don't.
They might give in a $15 million contract, they might give back $500K.
Yeah, no, I mean
historically what happens.
Agents do
not give back any money.
50, like I mean, I don't know. It's just Bradley Beal's just ridiculous anyway. But yeah, Pelicans. I'm taking Pelicans over the Suns.
Okay. Suns or Bulls?
Suns. Oh my God, yeah, Suns. The Bulls, like, oh my, they got no first-round draft picks for Lonzo, DeMar, Zach LaVine, or Alex Caruso. And like they got like Suns.
All right. Suns or Kings?
Suns.
Whoo, I know that was a hard one though, right?
Yeah, like I because who knows what direction the Kings are gonna go in. Like, is Sabonis gone? Is like Malik Monk was almost a Piston apparently, like from everything I was hearing, like he was about to be. I don't know. Kings are just a dumpster fire.
I feel like, anyways, I can hold my thoughts on the Kings until DBR, but Suns or Raptors?
I mean, Suns. I mean, they just take wings every year in the draft. Like that's about it. They're looking for the new OG.
I would agree with that. Raptors recently fired their general manager that won them a championship in 2019.
Yeah,
and I don't know who's in charge over there, but their penchant for bringing international players to Toronto in hopes that they'll want to stay because I guess they're having a hard time keeping Americans past their first contract.
Yeah,
that wasn't panning out for them, and their GM got fired.
Yeah.
So, all right, Suns or Miami Heat? I hear that clock ticking in the background. That's so funny.
I don't even know what that sound is, but I think it's now it's gone. Suns. I mean, the Heat, like just. I mean, Norman Powell. I mean, it went from who was a big name y'all were wanting this offseason? Dame, right? Like
Giannis.
We're gonna get Dame on the buyout. We're gonna get Dame on the buyout. Norman Powell. I like Norman Powell though. I like Norman Powell. Suns, though.
We'll move on. All right, this was the last one. Suns or Blazers?
Blazers. I'm not too
Good
like I'm
choice.
like
Good choice.
I
I think
don't
I would
hate
have
the
said Blazers
Blazers.
too.
Like they got rid of a locker room cancer, right? If that's what you want to call DeAndre Ayton. Like,
And
I mean, you
sent them to
have
the
Drew
Lakers.
Holiday. Like, they could keep Drew Holiday if Drew Holiday wants to stay. Dylan Brooks is on my TV with crazy hair. But yeah, no, I mean,
That is Dylan Brooks. I couldn't
Trailblazers.
recognize him. That's funny.
Trailblazers. I'm taking Trailblazers.
Okay, that was the last. That was the last one.
All of those are subject to change at any point in time.
I thought those are interesting. I a few of them I would have disagreed with. I like your Bulls take. I agree with your Raptors take. The Miami Heat, we can beef on that. The Nets, I completely disagree. I think they can go in a lot of directions, and down is likely not one of them, especially in an Eastern Conference that feels very soft to be able to get up to playing contention. And
yeah, I mean,
and that would already be better than Phoenix Suns last season. So I'm not sure why you would think that the Suns would have a brighter next couple of years. I mean, but you just don't believe. You think Brooklyn struck out? You think Brooklyn struck out 5 straight times in the draft?
No, I like the Igor Demon pick. I just think they just picked Igor Demon way too high. Like, they could have got someone way better in 8? They picked him 8, right? Because he said that's why he wears number 8. Like 8, they picked him at 8. He would have been there at 8. Like, I was past 8. Like, I was high on Igor, but not at number 8. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, that is crazy. You have Michael Porter Jr., a guy who's on a crazy contract for Michael Porter Jr. And then you have a guy in Cam Thomas, who's sitting in restricted free agency right now, just waiting for a contract. Some team that
sucks to be a restricted free agent.
Yeah, I mean,
sucks.
They're not really just gonna let Cam Thomas walk away. Like, they're not. I'm pretty sure he's like for maybe casuals. That's he might be a fan favorite because he scores the ball well. Like, every 5 games he's dropping 40. So like, I mean. I just don't like. Personally, I don't like that spot that they're in. And who they drafted, Danny Wolf, right, out of Michigan.
I like Danny Wolf.
I like Danny Wolf too, but I think what pick did they take him at? Like 15, 14?
It was late 20s.
Was it? I don't know. I didn't end up finishing the first round because it was 3:00 in the morning in South Africa, so I had to go to bed after the lottery. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on the Nets right now.
Look, let's say they hit on 2 out of the 5 picks. With all the cap space they have, they package one of those and have the cap space in order to make a trade and get a star. That could happen as soon as February.
Like the Nets?
Yeah.
Like, you think they could make a splash?
Yeah, in the midseason trade, and just like that, they're a potential Detroit Pistons of this year or of this past season.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I write
it down if you don't believe me.
I don't hate it, right? Like, okay, this is where I'm looking at from Brooklyn, right? I have their draft picks pulled up here. Next year, 2026, their own. They have 2 second round picks. 2027, the Knicks pick. That's no protections on that. That's not going to be anything. The Knicks are going to be good in 2027. They have a Philly first round pick that's protected 1 through 8. Like, Philly's not going to be bad. Like, they're not like. They're going to be a good team. Like, I don't think they're going to be terrible in 2 years unless they really just decide to blow it up, which would be interesting because you have Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey. I don't know. I'm not happy with I'm not huge on the Nets really. I want to look at their picks, this season's picks. Nets draft picks. 20 what? 20 what draft is it? 2025, 2026? Oh gosh, I muted my computer on accident. Can't hear anything. Okay, I'm back. Yeah.
Sometimes we forget we're recording, so we're going on a tangent here. So this, of course, could be a dead ball review, but we're talking.
This could be a dead ball review, and we'll next episode we're gonna do a Nets dead ball review because those dead ball reviews are good for like the back and forth because they have the questions at the end. So I mean, I'm down to save it for the dead ball review, and I'll make sure I'm like locked and loaded for that dead ball review. I'll have everything written down, my opinions on their future in 10 years. And like with projected picks, like
question number one, you still like the Suns better than these Nets? Yes or no? And why? That's what it's gonna be.
No, yeah, but I don't know. That has to be our next dead ball review, though. I'm requesting, but yeah.
But yeah, those first two, the Jazz and Hornets. I'm taking the Suns. Wizards. Yeah. I like the Wizards. I like the Nets. I like the Pelicans. I don't like the Bulls. I'll take the Suns over.
Yeah.
The Kings. The Kings is really difficult for me to place. I feel like they're the exact same team. That's why I was very interested in what you said there.
They need a point guard, and they just traded away their point guard and De'Aaron Fox. Like, and their other point guard was in the NBA Finals. Like, they're a mess. That is a hard one though. That's a toss up right there.
Yeah, that one's really difficult for me. I would definitely do Suns over Raptors. Obviously, I think the Heat over the Suns, but I can see the argument in the other direction, mostly because Miami has trouble with bringing in free agents. So any kind of increase to their talent, it feels like it's only going to be incremental just based on whatever naturally progresses off of the roster. And that might not get it done in terms of being better than the Suns, because as of right now, they got an Olympian on their roster and an all-star, and they were 10th in the weak Eastern Conference. So
added Norman Powell, though.
Where do they go?
Norman Powell, who had an all-star level year, right? Like, not terrible, right? And did y'all have a draft pick? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kasparas Yakashevich.
Nice, dude. I mean, not looking too good right now, but like, who knows? It's
he had a great game today. Yeah, like 24 points.
Oh,
bunch of assists, rebounds. He killed it.
There we go.
They lost, but he had a great first half, especially. So.
Oh yeah, 24 points, 4 assists. How many turnovers? 2. That's low for him. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's summer league. I like I said, I'm not that worried about the offense like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could battle a little bit about the Heat, but I could see your point.
That one's another like truly toss-up one. Like for me,
in terms of Miami, they don't have a path to go this way. They can only go.
It's kind of level. It's very low.
Yeah, so if Phoenix finds a way to, Ryan Dunn grows and different stuff like that. Malowatch is a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, their path could be, faster than the Heat. So, and the Blazers, I actually think potentially the Blazers might have something going, and more so than Phoenix over the next couple of years. I like what they're doing, especially with their centers. I think they finally found what they want to do with the center position after 20 some odd years since Greg Oden, right? Trying to figure out what they're going to do. You can even go back to Arvydas Sabonis was the last person to man it adequately, the center position. And I think they Nurkic. But I think they finally found a little bit in Donovan Clingan and what they grabbed somebody else too.
Hansong Yang is Yang or something. I don't know his
name. Oh
yeah, the guy that they drafted super high. Like like who apparently is like almost
number
like a little bit
16
like
in the
Jokic,
draft.
or yeah,
Oh
16,
yeah,
16.
and he plays a little bit like everybody thought he drafted him high, but then when they
Uh,
saw the highlights, they were like, actually, he might be good.
he can ball. There's a reason why he
So
went 16. So I guess we'll have to see.
yeah,
I'm excited for the Trailblazers. That's
they might be
one
percolating.
of those teams. They're one of the teams for sure for me. But yeah, that was DBR. We need to make sure we get that DBR because I enjoyed that little last Nets segment there. But yeah, make sure to like, or wait, no, where can they find you? It's been some time. Where can they find you? Oh my gosh.
I am at the Hero Joe, THAHEROJOE, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also Instagram at the Hero Joe. And you can catch my articles on Belly Up Sports. Haven't written very much. It's summertime. I can write, so I probably should write something. Especially want to write a little bit about the latest Knicks head coach.
Oh yes, Mike Brown.
So that might be coming up. How about yourself, Jacob? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Hammy2004. Hammy spelled Hamie, not Hammy. And then obviously you can find us on Twitter at Hardwood Huddle. The Hardwood Huddle was taken. Hardwood Huddle on Twitter, I feel like it's been a little bit active. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy Sports, by the way. Not a sponsor, but they've been putting up some crazy TikToks that are really helping with the cap apron stuff and all that and the luxury tax. So I always make sure to put that out just so everyone can see. I always give them credit as well. So if they ever try to come at me, I always make sure it's theirs. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, use Opus Clips for all your AI clipping needs. It helps me a lot, and it's definitely going to be helping me clip this hour and 30-minute long podcast. But it was definitely worth it. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share with everybody. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Peace.